Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Gumansing, topping our newscast. As we share with you on Monday, the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce welcomed another member with the ribbon cutting of Pleasant Healthcare. The state-of-the-art facility is committed to providing first-rate healthcare to Virgin Islands residents as well as to patients from throughout the Caribbean. The facility was founded by Dr. Jandar. The medical clinic specializes in internal medicine, management of chronic illnesses like hypertension and kidney disease. A huge breakthrough for St. Croix. The surgery center has 2 operating rooms and 5 pre-post of bays. The surgery center currently offers specialized eye surgeries and procedure shops to expand its services in the near future. Here's more.
The center is here to serve the community and to directly better the lives of many here on St. Croix. You and your loved ones no longer have to leave home to receive this quality outpatient surgical care elsewhere. We welcome all physicians to use this facility and to bring their patients. Our vision is to make this infrastructure available to all.
It's an honor and privilege to be a part of what is essentially a major step forward in providing health care and economic development in the Virgin Islands. I want to especially thank the St. Croix Chamber of Commerce and all of its members for their work, not only in organizing today's ribbon-cutting ceremony, but all of the work that they are doing to advance economic growth and supporting the St. Croix community and businesses here. Providing affordable, accountable, and superior health care to local residents and patients, not just here on St. Croix and in the Virgin Islands, but throughout the Caribbean and the world, is an important undertaking.
They showed me where you'll just sit down in one chair, and that one chair will take you through the entire process, from administering whatever medication to the actual eye surgery to recovery. So, beautiful facility. It is state-of-the-art. I want to thank you for, first of all, investing and trusting our community here in St. Croix and doing this excellent facility. And one thing that he was saying is to encourage patients from other islands to come down and visit and have the surgery done.
Now, a tour was given to those in attendance. The facility is CMS certified and accredited by Accreditations Association for Health, Inc. Commissioner-designee Michelle Davis announced the USVI Central Cancer Registry, and it was started long time. Now, the cancer incidence data collection for cases diagnosed on January 1st, 2016 and after. This registry is an epidemiologic surveillance system designed to collect the information regarding incidence, distribution, risk factors, and mortality of cancer. This is essential, she says, to the public, health professionals, researchers, the medical community, and policymakers. The registry has been implemented and will be maintained under the Department of Health Chronic Disease Prevention Program. The Virgin Islands Central Cancer Registry currently collects information from several sources, including the hospital in St. Thomas and St. Croix, pathology, laboratories, and hospice centers. It also has agreements with other state central cancer registries. Meanwhile, the department has begun a survey to better understand the magnitude of chronic disease issues in the VI. The Behavioral Risk Factor Surveillance System is the nation's premier system of health-related telephone service that collects state data about U.S. residents regarding their health-related risk behaviors, chronic health conditions, and use of preventive service. Now established in 1984 with 15 states, BRFSS now collects data in all 50 states, as well as the District of Columbia and 6 U.S. territories, including the U.S. Virgin Islands, and works along with the National Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC. This survey gathers information that can better plan and evaluate health promotion programs to prevent chronic disease. More medical news. The Schneider Regional Medical Center Foundation has launched a capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.5 million to fund 4 major projects, including the emergency department renovation and expansion of the unit with additional rooms and new equipment, the 4th floor surgery unit, with conversion of current double rooms to all private rooms with new furnishings and equipment, the labor and delivery, the redesign and upgrade of the delivery rooms. At the Myra Keating Smith Community Health Center, renovation of the facilities planned, plus additional wellness programs. Now, they said to achieve these goals, they're hoping to raise that $2.5 million by December 2017. These 4 projects were identified as high priority by the top officials. For more information on how you can make a campaign pledge, call 776-8311, extension 2264. Meanwhile, the pharmacy department at the Walnut Louis Hospital Medical Center, they introduced a new initiative, the Med to Bed program, and they received its first participant to the program on June 3rd. The program is a service offered in some hospitals where medications are delivered to patients' bedside prior to discharge. The physician will send the prescription to the chosen pharmacy at least 1 day prior to patient discharge, and then will deliver the medication to the hospital bedside just prior to discharge. Patients participating in the program will receive a call from the pharmacist 3 days after that discharge to see how they are doing and answer any questions that they may have. Turn our attention to crime reports on Monday, June 6 at approximately 8:51 p.m. The 911 emergency call center received notification of shots fired in the area of Fortuna Beach. Upon arrival to the scene, officers made contact with an unresponsive Hispanic male lying face up. Here's more from the VIPD.
The male was wearing a blue Air Jordan t-shirt, blue 3/4 denim shorts, black socks, and sneakers. Preliminary investigations reveal that the unidentified male was lying on the sand and appeared to have suffered multiple gunshot wounds to his upper body. This case is presently under investigation by the Homicide Task Force. Anyone having information regarding this incident may contact the task force at 340-774-2211, extension 5617 and 5554. You can also call 911 or Crime Stoppers VI at 1-800-222-TIPS.
In other news, for those who called in to see how Officer Edison Spratley is doing, here's an update. Now, the officer was admitted to the Roy Lester Schneider Regional Medical Center as a result of an incident that took place on Main Street on Monday, June 7, 2016. A computerized tomography scan was administered and thankfully came back normal. The Virgin Islands Police Department wishes Officer Spratley a speedy recovery, as he is indeed, they say, a great asset to the department and will be missed during his time of recovery. Crew of a Coast Guard MH-65 Dolphin helicopter combined efforts with the merchant vessel Tropic Express on Sunday to rescue 2 boaters from a dinghy after their vessel reportedly sank approximately 42 nautical miles northeast of St. Croix. The 2 boaters had departed from St. Thomas aboard the 45-foot recreational powerboat Live Wire Sunday afternoon. Moments thereafter, the Live Wire began taking on water and started to sink, forcing the boaters to abandon the vessel onto an 8-foot dinghy. The Tropic Express came alongside the dinghy and embarked the boaters, who were being transported by the Tropic Express to the British Lesser Antilles island of Anguilla. The Angelia D. Quintana, 30, pleaded guilty in district court on St. Thomas to 1 count of possession with intent to distribute marijuana. According to a plea agreement on Wednesday, March 2nd, Quintana arrived at the Cyril E. King Airport on board a Delta Airlines flight from Atlanta, Georgia. U.S. Customs and Border Protection officers searched her bag after she was taken to secondary inspection and discovered a large bundle of plastic in each bag. Within the plastic, CBP discovered approximately 19.5 kilos of what was determined to be marijuana. When questioned, Quintana admitted that the bags were hers. Quintana faces a maximum sentence of 5 years imprisonment and a maximum fine of $250,000. Well, Tuesday is the last day of the 2016 campaign season that will see multiple nominating contests. Montana, New Mexico, and North and South Dakota go to the polls. The biggest prizes by far are California and New Jersey. California boasts a whopping 546 total delegates, while New Jersey offers a more modest 142 total delegates. But one candidate in particular, Hillary Clinton, is going into Tuesday with a bit of unexpected momentum. Here's Ken Hutchison with more.
Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton square off for the last so-called Super Tuesday of the primary season. Republican nominating contests are being held, but since Donald Trump is already the presumptive GOP nominee, the real focus is on the Democrats. Late Monday, news broke that Clinton had already qualified for her party's presidential nomination, thanks to fresh commitments from superdelegates. CNN's political director explained how the calculation was made.
CNN has been tracking since last fall all the superdelegates, and we have been recording and reporting their support throughout this entire season.
Clinton officially has 2,384 pledged delegates and superdelegates, one more than she needs to qualify as presidential nominee. At a rally, she acknowledged the historic moment, but pointed out that the race isn't over.
We are on the brink of a historic, unprecedented moment. But we still have work to do, don't we?
The Sanders campaign argued in a statement that superdelegates should not be counted until the party convention and promised to try to convince superdelegates to support Sanders instead. But both candidates are telling supporters that on Tuesday, they should still get out and vote. I'm Kim Hutcherson reporting.
Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. As we take a look at the numbers there, we can see the Dow up 17, NASDAQ down 6, S&P 500 up at 2. Coming up on News 2, we have much more, including a look at the weather. We're in the hurricane season, and Colin is out there. We'll have the latest. That's coming up. Welcome back. The Committee on Finance, chaired by Senator Clifford Graham, met on Monday to receive an overview of the 2017 fiscal year budget from the governor's financial team at the Earl B. Otley Legislative Hall. Nellen Bari, who is the director of the Office of Management and Budget, testified that the grand total of the fiscal year budget of the government of the U.S. Virgin Islands is $1.35 billion in current year expenditures and debt service. Of the local funds, $844.9 million is composed of expenditures and debt service from the general fund, $102.8 million from other local funds, and $203.4 million is from funds not subject to annual appropriations. The $844.9 million budget includes a proposed expenditure of $715.5 million for executive departments and agencies, $60.9 million for the legislature and the judiciary combined, and $68.5 million for long-term gross receipt tax bonds debt service. Officials said the government currently has 33 days of cash on hand, a total of approximately $67 million. Ideally, though, the goal is to have 180 days of cash on hand, a goal Bari says the government is working toward. The Parents Association of the Upward Bound program, formerly Upward Bound at the University of the Virgin Islands, they hosted its 26th annual Youth Role Model Awards luncheon this past weekend at the Marriott's Frenchman's Reef. The event is designed to pay tribute to seniors from each high school on St. Thomas with outstanding community involvement and who serve as role models. Each student must maintain a B+ or higher average, and they will be attending a college or university in the fall of 2016.
Congratulate the parents, the instructors, and everyone that had anything to do with these youngsters today being recognized for being role models in the University Bound program. I want to, say congratulations to Dr. Hahn for making sure that this program is still a major program on UVI campus.
University Bound is central to the University of the Virgin Islands mission because we believe that education is something that can transform lives, and we want every student to have the resources and the opportunities not only to access higher education but to excel. For individuals to reach their full potential is the greatest gift that this territory and the university can provide to students.
And congratulations to all the students. And here they are: Naza Lynch of Charlotte High School, Jair Keith, Bacriel Smith, St. Thomas St. John Seventh-day Adventist School, Micaiah Bully, Ivana Eudora High School, Irvin Mason Jr., All Saints Cathedral School, Promise Walker of Saints Peter and Paul Catholic School, Sajani Foy, Peter Gruber International Academy, VI Montessori, Nia Gums, Antilles School, Camille Emmanuel University Brown Program. And with that in mind, let's take a look at the schedule of graduations coming up shortly. We have the Raphael Wheatley Skills Center, 2 p.m., CAHS Auditorium, St. Thomas, June 11th. And they hold another one June 13th at Antilles School at 5:30 p.m. June 12th, we have the Day Adult Education, St. Thomas, 1 p.m. at CAHS. June 15th, Central High School, St. Croix, 2:30 p.m., Central High. June 16th, St. Croix Educational Complex, that's at 10 a.m. at the Island Center for the Performing Arts. June 18th, Ivana Eudora High School, 6 p.m. in their gymnasium, of course, right here in St. Thomas. June 19th, CAHS, 5 p.m. at the UVI Sports and Fitness Center. And then June 21st, it's the St. Croix Adult Education at 6:30 p.m. at SCEC. Well, turn our attention overseas. It's hurricane season. Tropical storm Colin has now been downgraded to a post-tropical cyclone. The extreme weather system is quickly moving offshore, but not before causing plenty of damage and flooding as it ripped across Florida. Scott McLean reports.
Packing heavy rain and high winds, Tropical Storm Colin drenched the Sunshine State.
We have a train over Tampa, not a physical choo-choo train, but a train of rain. One storm on top of the other, just like trains on a train track.
In Jacksonville, Colin brought down trees, and in Gulfport on Florida's west coast, the storm pushed a tree onto a house in the middle of the night.
Another branch came in right through the bedroom there where they were sleeping, and you know, some part of the ceiling fell down, insulation scared the hell out of them.
In St. Pete's Beach, people waded through waist-deep floodwaters.
I haven't seen it like this in 10 years. It's pretty high, and this isn't even a hurricane.
Florida Governor Rick Scott declared a state of emergency, and 6,000 National Guard troops were ready to deploy to the hardest-hit areas. Colin tracked quickly across the state and up the coast, bringing more rain and the risk of damaging wind to North Carolina. Back in Jacksonville, they're already cleaning up the mess left behind. Colin is the third named tropical storm this year. 3 named storms have not hit this early in the year in more than a century. I'm Scott McLean reporting.
And be sure to tune in for all the updates as we continue to track the tropics. Now, before we head off to the weather, just a quick reminder, the Department of Education is pleased to announce the launch of the 8th Annual Governor's Summer Reading Challenge, slated for Wednesday, June 8th. The annual activity challenges students in grades kindergarten to 6 to read 5 or more books during the summer months. There will be special launch events at schools on St. Croix and St. Thomas, Wednesday, June 8th. Education and government house officials will distribute books to students and inspire them to read this summer. Well, as promised, be sure to stay